You were not born a people pleaser. How trauma taught you to disappear and how to come back. When was the last time someone asked you what you wanted and you actually knew the answer? Not what will make things easier, not what would keep the peace, not what will make someone else comfortable. What did you want? If that question makes you pause, if you have to really think, if your first instinct was to say, oh, I don't mind, or whatever works for everyone else, then this video is for you, my sister. Because people pleasing is not a personality trait. It is not kindness. It is not humility. It is a survival strategy your nervous systems developed when being yourself felt dangerous. And today, we're going to talk about where it came from, what it cost you, and how you begin to find your way back to yourself, all the way back. I want to say something that I really need you to receive. The reason you became a people pleaser was not because you were weak. It was because you were smart at some point, probably very early. You figured out that keeping other people happy kept you safe. That shrinking yourself made the environment around you more predictable. That saying yes, even when everything in you wanted to say no. Saying no prevented something painful from happening. You learned to read the room before you walked into it. You learn to manage other people's emotions so your world felt less chaotic. You become an expert at sensing what people needed and giving it to them before they even ask. That was not weakness. That was a child doing what children do, adapting to survive. The problem is that what kept you safe at 7 years old is now keeping you stuck at 27 or 37 or 47. And it's costing you more than you realize it. Let me introduce you to something. The 4 trauma responses. You are probably heard of fight and flight, but there are 2 more. 1, freeze, where you shut down and go numb, and fawn, where you appease, comply, and people please your way to safety. The fawn response was first named by trauma therapist Peter Walker, and it describes exactly this. That is, a person who, in the face of threat, real or perceived, automatically moves towards placing other person to neutralize the danger. Children who grow up with unpredictable caregivers, with emotionally volatile parents, with criticism or rejection or conditional love, often develop fawning as their primary coping mechanism because fighting back wasn't safe. Running away wasn't an option, so they learned to become whatever the other person needed them to be. And here is the heartbreaking part. If you spend years doing this, you may have lost track of who you actually are underneath all the adapting. You may not know your own needs because you spend so long meeting everyone else's needs. You become so good at being what other people needed that you forgot to ask what you needed. This is also deeply connected to low self-worth. When we believe deep down that our value is conditional, that we have to earn our place, perform our worth, be useful to be loved, people-pleasing becomes a constant attempt to prove that we deserve to be cared. But hear this clearly. You were never meant to earn your place in someone else's life. That is not love. That is a transaction. Now, I want to bring in something from Galatians 1 verse 10 that quietly undid me the first time I really read it. Paul writes, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. That is a strong word, but read it gently because it is not a condemnation, it is an invitation. It is Paul saying, the opinion that matters most is already settled. God has already approved of you. So why are you exhausting yourself trying to get the same approval from people who are never qualified to give it? Psalm 139 says, you are wonderfully and fearfully made, not conditionally wonderfully made. Not wonderfully made if you keep everyone happy. Fearfully and wonderfully made. Full stop. Your worth was established before you took your first breath, before you ever did anything for anyone, before you ever said yes when you mean to say no. And here is the gentle correction God offers the people pleaser. He does not want your performance, He wants your presence. He doesn't want you managing everyone around you. He wants you resting in the fact that He's managing things that were never yours to carry. Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. You are allowed to put it down, all of it, the managing, the performing, the shrinking, the contorting yourself into whatever shape everyone else needs. You are allowed to take up space. That is not selfishness. That is obedience to the God who made you whole. So how do we come back? Here are 4 steps to start recovering yourself. 1. Start noticing the moment you abandon yourself. Can you hear me, sister? Start noticing the moment you abandon yourself. The next time someone asks you what you want, pause before you defer. Notice the pull. Notice the anxiety that rises when you consider expressing your actual opinion. You don't have to change anything yet. Just notice. Awareness is always the first step. 2. Practice small no's in safe spaces. You don't start by saying no to the most terrifying person in your life. You start small. If friends offer you food you don't want, you say no, thank you. Someone asks you if you want to watch something, you express a preference. Small, low stakes, real no's. Your nervous system needs to learn that saying no does not destroy the relationship. And 3, ask yourself daily, what do I actually want today? Not what will make things easier, not what's expected. What do you want? Start with small things. What do I want to eat? What do I want to do with this hour? You are reconnecting with yourself. It takes practice. So be patient with yourself. 4, grieve the version of you that has to disappear. Yes. This is the step most people skip, but it matters. There is a grief in realizing how long you have been absent from your own life. How many times you said yes and meant no. How many years you spent performing instead of living. Let yourself feel that, grieve it with God, and then let Him lead you into something new. You were not born to disappear. You were made with a voice, with opinions, with preferences, with needs, and every single one of them matters to God. They should matter to the people in your life too, and they're going to start mattering more to you. This is not going to happen overnight, but every time you pause before deferring, every time you express a small honest truth, every time you choose your own needs without apology, you are taking yourself back. One small act of self-respect at a time. My sister, you are ahead and you are becoming a woman who knows she's allowed to exist fully, not just in the spaces other people live for her. Drop whole, that is, you are whole, WHOLE, in the comments if you are ready to start taking yourself back. I will see you in the next video. Before I go, let me confirm it to you once again that, my sister, you are loved, you are ahead, and you are becoming. See you at the top I love you. Shalom.